Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a video to do for you talking about this knife right here. This is the CDC, or Crispy Donut Community Outbreak. This is a prototype, as you can see there, and this is in Magna Cut steel. The OEM on this knife is Best Tech Knives out of China, and they are running a Kickstarter on this knife as we speak. I'm going to pull that information up. Now, as I understand it, this guy is gonna be around $250 on the pre-order, and then it'll be $275 once the pre-order comes in. So yeah, they have it listed at $250. Now it's a little confusing because their website says sold out. So I'll talk to them about that, because I think it'd be smart for them to not have it say sold out. I mean, I get it. They don't have it in stock on their site. But people going to look for this might, go, oh, shit, not available, right? But here it is. It is available. It's about halfway funded, right? They're looking for 28 grand. They have 13,653 backers. There's still about a month to go. What I wanted to talk about on this, yeah, 245, nope, 250. So you get 250, and you can get either sprinkles or plain scales. So it comes with both. This came with both, sorry. Just so you can see, these are the plain scales. So if you decided you wanted plain scales, you could still support them, still get the knife, but not have to have the sprinkles. Now, this one is by far my favorite of their knives that they've released. I've checked out the Chicago, the Hanson. There was one other one, I can't recall the name, I think. And those were good, well-made, affordable. They're really cool, but they had a lot of the sprinkles with colors, like G10 with pink and whatever, right? This is very subtle. It has those sprinkles milled in, and I think that gives it a really nice look here. The only thing about the milling I don't like is this area right here, where it kind of makes it look like a clip slot or something. I wish it was just like one sprinkle here angled or something. But I mean, it's a minor nitpick. Nice milled titanium clip. You have lots of jimping, so if you don't like jimping, this is not the knife for you. This is the jimping knife, okay? There's jimping on the handle. There's jimping more on the handle. There's jimping all over the blade. It's got all the jimps for you. The build quality from Best Tech is phenomenal, guys. I've been sitting here with it. Initially, I saw the knife, and I said, oh, cool. They're doing another folder. But then I looked closer and I was like, oh, I like that milling pattern not being all colorful, just subtle sprinkles. I think this is the best looking they've done a knife. I mean, the best looking knife they've done. Sorry, English is hard over here. And so, yeah, the more I looked at it, I was like, ooh. And then I saw that belt satin, and I was like, ooh. Then I noticed, is that a hollow grind? Ooh. And then look how it comes out to a flat, but you still get that belt satin grind. This is a menacing tip. That secondary grind is disgusting. It's probably the best I've ever seen, honestly, on one of these double grind type knives. Let me show you an example. Think Chavez. Think, there's a lot of them that do it. And here's the Tanto version of the Wrath V2. This is actually a good knife to compare, I guess. And then here's the drop point version. So this would probably be more comparable, right? And when you look at that secondary grind, it's almost, it's hard to distinguish in person or on camera. But in person, it's almost like they got it to it's not a hollow grind, but it almost feels that way. And that belt satin is just so aggressive looking. It's so pronounced. It just looks different. Most of the time, this is what you'll see. And this looks great. You still have the hollow. You still have the flat. But there's just something different about how that belt satin is done. I think it's just a Maybe Best Tech does it to a little bit of a lower grit finish. So it's just a little more aggressive looking than, say, Tuya. Right? It's kind of more like a Riot belt satin. I just really love how that looks. I think Tuya is doing a great job with it, but it's just a little thing that really caught my eye looking at it. I just love how they did this, and I love the jimping. It really does make that Tanto blade and everything stand out. Now, these Tuyas are phenomenal, by the way. Similar price there, S90B. But yeah, Best Tech killed that blade. That's kind of what I'm getting at there. I love the construction. So you have a backspacer, but the way it's intertwined with the jimping back there just looks really cool. You lanyard foos. You have a lanyard spot. You better, because they're team lanyard over there at Crispy Donut Community. I am team no lanyard. We still need to do that collab patch or whatever. Nice pivot collars. I'd like to see it maybe a little bigger. Like, they could go bigger on this pivot and this collar. And I know Best Tech has done that. I think that would look pretty snazzy. You have a set of studs here, so you can thumb flick this knife. Then you can reverse flick this knife. And then you also have a flipper tab, which is really well done, really well jimped. And you can light switch that really well. You can push button it as well, but it's kind of a push switch. You end up kind of light switching it. Now, one thing that, you know, I've talked about in the past on their knives is they really like this stud flipper combo. And that's because, you know, they like to fidget and they like options and they like flipper and they like studs. And I do wonder if Drew is the flipper and Luke is the stud. No, there's no way that's right. So Drew is definitely the stud, and then Luke is the flipper. That makes perfect sense. I love those guys, by the way. If you don't know, Luke and Drew run Crispy Donut Community. Awesome dudes. Check out their YouTube channel as well, and their Instagram. They're live like every 4 seconds. It's incredible. Every time I open YouTube, it's like Crispy Donut Community. Another live. You know, talking about lanyards and shit. But dudes are awesome, and Drew's definitely the stud. That's for sure. But that's my theory on it, is like one of them loves flippers and one of them loves studs. So like they just have to have both on all their knives. But what I was trying to get at before I went all silly on you is they've done this in the past, and this is by far the best implementation action-wise of the two deployment methods. Because I remember the first knife, was it the Chicago? The flipper was a little lazy, right? Because, you know, Kubi made that one. Because Kubi was making sure that the studs wouldn't be like super tight or anything, right? And so the flipper ended up just feeling a little lazy. It wasn't bad, and I'm sure example to example was different. But then, you know, another one that I got in for review, the flipper was perfect, right? But the studs were like really hard to fire out because that detent was stronger for the flipper. So there's a real balance you have to play with that. And Best Tech, they're just showing their abilities here, because this flipper tab is money. Sure, it could be stronger. I don't think, yeah, I mean, I just failed it there. But I mean, I'm trying, right? Yeah. Sure, it could be stronger on the flipper, but then you have issues here. But I think the balance is excellent on this. I mean, listen to that pop out of there. Just beautiful. And then the thumb flick. And a lot of that plays into the fact that this action is done really well by Best Tech. It's super smooth. You know, I'm not feeling a lot of grit. There's a little bit of that detent ball riding on the blade, which is normal. It's going to keep wearing that path for a long time. It has to wear through MagnaCut, which, by the way, is a very tough steel, very wear-resistant steel. I don't know the HRC. You guys don't need to ask me that question, but it's probably going to be 62 to 63, I would guess, because that's what I think Best Tech's been doing, which is solid. And yeah, guys, I mean, I initially was like, okay, we got another CDC knife. It is what it is, you know. It's cool, but like, am I excited about it? I don't know. But then I got it, and you know, I've been sitting here with it. I opened it tonight. I mean, I opened it like an hour ago. And the more that I've just looked at it, the more that I've played with it, the more that I've handled it, the more that I really love this knife. I think they have something really special here. And it almost seems sad that Kickstarter is only about half funded right now. So if you guys are with me on this one, you really like this knife, I think you should pick one up. I do. And just to show you that I'm not fucking around right now, I definitely want sprinkles. I'm going to pre-order one of these. So I don't want you to see my credit card, but I'll show you in a second. Oh, that's right. I had to update my card. So it declined me. Of course, we're okay. I'll just do Apple Pay, which will probably charge me right away, but it is what it is. Okay, so what happened? I did Apple Pay. Did it work? It like did the thing, but then it didn't. Okay, it says I backed it. Thanks for backing this project. Now you're a part of it. Okay, so that's how much I like this knife. That's how much it just caught me right there. So if you guys are with me, support them. Good dudes, cool project. And honestly, it's the knife, guys. It really is. It's a really sweet knife. It's ergonomic in the hand. I haven't talked about that. You get a good grip back here, large glove size hand, right? And then you have that jimping. It's perfect. They definitely toned that down, guys. On some of their other models, this jimping was way too aggressive. It's still there, but it's not like overpowering. I can also choke up like this if I want onto that flipper tab. I can come up like this. I have more jimping here that I'm never going to use, but hey. Beautiful hollow grind. I mean, dude, it's sick. You go low on that tab. You can clear the flipper tab and have it hit your nail if you want. Basically close the knife. Or you can come up here, just let that tab hit you. The detent is nice and early. Look at that. You know what that is, guys? That's good design right there. That's good design right there. How often do we see a late detent, right? And I'm just like, why? Or they throw fucking detent ramps on shit that doesn't need it, right? Like, look at this. Clears right there. Right there. Swings down. So there's almost no chance you're not going to clear that flipper or that detent. I mean, look at that. Beautiful. Left-handed. Thumb stud, no problem. Let's see. I haven't even tried a reverse flick. There you go. You just got to get down a little bit. Or you come up on the pivot, I guess. Nah, it doesn't work for me. So you got to come down like that. Thumb stud is money. And then, of course, you have your flipper tab right there. Bang. So I really like it. Dead nut centered. Right down the line there. And they crushed it, guys. That's the best way for me to put it is I'll put up or shut up, right? You saw me spend my money. That's the best way for me to tell you how I feel about this knife. It's worth pre-ordering. It's worth supporting. You know, I think the price is solid. $250. Excuse me. You're talking Magna Cut, Best Tech, titanium scales. They do seem to have a slight contour and everything. Oh, you can tell a little easier. Yeah. A little bit of a contour on there. You can go smooth if you want. If you don't like those sprinkles, right? You can go like this. I think that looks good as well. Right? Yeah. It looks really good, actually. Shit. But I gotta get the sprinkles, you know what I'm saying? Great job, Luke. Great job, Drew. Flipper and stud. Let me know what you guys think down below. shout out to the crispy community, crispy donut community, and I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you later. Peace.